All right, guys, check this out. As you know, Gods Unchained was having a spectacular year in 2021, and there's many reasons to believe that this will continue into 2022. If you look at their blog, actually, and the reason I'm doing this video is because I think it's important to get in while the getting's good, right? The whole point of cryptocurrency is to get in low and hold or sell when it gets high, right? And that's the whole point. So the reason I'm doing this is because I think there's very good reason to believe that 2022 could be the year for the Gods token itself. But I want you to know too, before we start this, I'm not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice. This is for the lulz and for the good times playing video games. Now check this out. On the actual Gods blog, you can take a look at what's happening. They've got a nice recap that just hit yesterday regarding what happened in 2021. But also, we have a situation where they're talking about explosive growth, all right? And we're talking like leaps and bounds, not even to the point of just some small stuff. You'll see what I mean in just a sec. But they're breaking it down, and they have big things planned for 2022, rightly so, because the game itself, of course, Gods Unchained, is amazing, but there's more. There's like the big backbone behind it. There's, again, the big players, the money, the early adopters that have been playing this game like crazy, and of course the last quarter of 2021 that saw a huge increase in actual users and accounts created for Gods Unchained. So now check this out. If you look at the graph here, I think pretty much by any standard, you would have to say that this is growth. This is dramatic growth, and it is ridiculous. But this is the thing, right? With crypto, and if you watched any sort of the Bitcoin or some of this other stuff, notice that we have a serious uptrend here over the course of the past year since they released the game in March. So check this out, right? If this is straight from their blog, and it's important to note all of these things. A quick look at last year. 2021 was a year of growth for Gods Unchained. We now operate on Immutable X, a fully functional Layer 2 solution, and this has saved both of us and our community millions of dollars in gas fees that would have otherwise been incurred on L1. We launched the Gods token, and alongside it, relaunched our play-to-earn systems via the reopening of the Forge. Here are a few numbers to give you an idea, and this is where it starts to get nuts, right? There are now over 13 million Gods Unchained NFTs out in the world, with over 65,000 unique asset holders. Since its launch in March 2021, over 25 million worth of Gods Unchained assets were traded between users on Immutable X. And that's this graph right here. Like I said, exponential growth, guys. This is literally about to fly off the chain this year, in my opinion. And I think that if you don't get in now, you may regret it and wish that you had. Well, this continues. If you look at more of their blog, they add this. In the last week of 2021, we saw over 62,000 new Gods Unchained accounts created. This is a 300% increase on numbers we were seeing pre-token launch in mid-October. Games per month grew over 50x in 2021, all right? You hear about this 20x, on tokens, or 10x, and it's a good thing on cryptocurrencies. But look, the games per month grew over 50x in 2021, okay? So the token hasn't followed suit because, of course, we're still early in this game. It just launched in 2021 in March, and, well, if the games per month grew over 50 times, what do you think is going to happen to that token once the avalanche of players actually start playing this game? And it's coming. This continues. To put it in perspective, in the space of 1 week, Gods Unchained saw over 1.7 million matches played. Check that out. In the space of 1 week, which was close to double the total played in the entirety of 2020. All right, so we have some serious business going on here. And again, if you look at the actual Gods token itself, there's, well, reason to be very, very bullish on this. We're talking about $2.79. So as you can see with the graph here, the token itself hasn't done a 50x yet. Well, when do you think it's gonna? If they have a 50x actual amount of games played in this past year, then when do you think the token's going to just go crazy, right? It's going to happen. And so how crazy? Of course, it's impossible to say. Nobody has a crystal ball for the future here. But I think given what we're talking about is that this may be a 50x situation, because look at it right there. Games per month grew over 50x in 2021. You see, everything is there. All of the mechanisms seem to be in place for this to do a huge jump in the near future. And I don't know if it's going to be 1 year or 2 years. It's impossible to say. But, right, if you look at the numbers here, 50x in 2021 games per month. So what do you think 2022 will bring? 100x, 200x, 500x? I don't know. And this is just games played. And of course, if we're talking in terms of actual dollar amount traded in assets on Gods Unchained, of course, that's $25 million just in this past year since March. Well, what do you think 2022 is going to bring? Don't wait. Do not wait. The price of this coin right now is $2.80, and it's, again, up and down, because it still hasn't gained its foothold, and we don't have the avalanche of new players just yet. But I'm telling you, do not miss this. Now, one more thing before we wind this video up. 31,210,000 Gods tokens distributed via play-to-earn initiatives to the Gods Unchained community. In January 2021, we had 1,625 weekly active players. Now, in January 2022, we have over 80,000. Catch that? That's an increase of over 4,800%. So what do you think is going to happen next? So play this game, spread the word. The more people we get in this game, the more value is going to be added. And, well, where does this head? You know my guess. To the moon.